This is the lecture for writer Malik's Kant, the State, and Revolution. There's nothing really to mention here except there's a footnote or an endnote that also has to do with something that came up in Korsgaard, which I didn't mention in the lecture. But he has this point, endnote number 6, the right to force others to join into a state is juridical. The category ethical right does not exist in Kant's writings, because rights have to do exclusively with external relations among interacting agents, and so are usually not concerned with what takes place in an individual's mind. An ethical right would make little sense, furthermore, since it's impossible to use external means to force persons autonomously to set ends for themselves. Ethical duties can justify other actions that have consequences for authority, however, that have consequences for authority. However, they may, for example, however, however, they may, for example, justify conscious objections. Okay, forget the last sentence. But yeah, so this point is also one that Korsgaard sort of raised in the article on Wednesday, and it's not really central to the debate about revolution, but it does touch on something we talked a bit about on, I don't know, last Friday or Saturday or maybe Wednesday or earlier, about sort of how Kant's ethics, I think this was Saturday, how Kant's ethics relates to the political philosophy. And so this is a narrow point about how, like, right, I mean, and this is kind of what the point I made, I think, on Saturday too, which is how right is, uh, it's not, it's like a special category for Kant because it has to do with what can be externally coerced or externally enforced. And uh, the sort of traditional Kantian ethics, we sort of is something you enforce on yourself. It's not something that can be externally enforced. Nobody can force you autonomously to do some sort of thing. And Kant thinks all moral action has to be autonomous action. So that's not to say that there's anything new in this footnote or anything new in the Korsgaard, by the way, except that this is related to this topic. And so if you look at where this footnote shows up, and just think about the whole argument in the context of how Kant thinks morality is related to politics, there just might be more to say or more to think about on this topic now that we have a bit more stuff explicitly discussing it.